So, you guys ready for the big surprise here, the big reveal? Any final guesses here before I make this announcement? Paulie? I'll go to you last because Paulie says he thinks he knows. Seton, any idea?
There's going to be a new Danette.
Could be.
What?
Could be.
You're expecting? No.
I'm not expecting.
Okay.
Fritzy?
Some supermodel interns.
No, nice try. McLovin?
You're getting us into a sitcom.
No. Paulie?
I've been told that it's a shocker even to like us. We're going to be shocked by this announcement.
Right.
Not just a good announcement, a shocker.
Can we bring in the...
We sure can.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. Reginald Aloysius Miller is back.
No kidding.
Daniel Theodore.
Wow.
Pasquale. Patrick. I want everyone to know this is Reginald Wayne Aloysius Jaquan Felipe Miller, my Danettes. The gang is all back together.
We are back. The band is back together.
And I just want to say one thing. I've been on hold here for almost 3 years, and I just want you to know, Fritzy, this is so rude that you would keep a family member on hold for almost 3 years. I've been trying to get through, but for whatever reason, you guys have not allowed me to get through and come on. But it's so good to hear you guys.
We missed your voice, and I didn't tell anybody, Reg, because when I first was told, I thought, I don't know if I can keep this a secret. And then, then the longer, and then as we corresponded a little bit there, and then I thought, you know what? It's really going to happen. And people, it's amazing the number of people said, where did Reggie go? And I said, you have to understand Reggie. He didn't go to another radio show. You decided you were doing TV, and I respected that. And the fact that you came back and, you were always welcome. So we're thrilled to have you back.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back, and you're absolutely right, because at the time of our transition, I was going from the studio with Charles and Kenny and Ernie to actually doing everyday games along with my partner now, Kevin Harlan. So I somewhat wanted to focus on that. But, hey, just like the movie Brokeback Mountain, I can't quit you, Jake. I can't quit you, Dan. I can't quit you, Dan. I had to come back. I love you guys, and this is going to be great. We've had some of our best times every Monday mornings, so I'm really looking forward to this, gentlemen.
Okay, so every Monday, we're going to do this, right?
Every Monday.
Awesome.
Aloysius and Theodore are back together.
We got a lot to catch up on. I mean, a
lot has happened.
Yeah, I got a couple of years of questions here for you, Reggie.
Sure. Why not? Hey, I know one thing.
Yeah.
A lot has happened with you guys. You guys are like exiting out of helicopters, getting into nice, trucks. I mean, shades, the suits, pictures on buildings. I mean, that's pretty impressive for you guys.
What's changed in your life here since we spoke to you on the show? Anything important?
Well, I made the Hall of Fame. Thanks for the call. No call, no flowers, no power back.
I texted you.
I thought we were all family. That would have been nice to hear from, a Danette. Maybe not all the Danettes.
But Reg, I expected that. I expected you to get in the Hall of Fame.
No, you never expect to be in the Hall of Fame.
I expected you to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I appreciate that, but I never expected to be in the Hall of Fame. You never want to be, that presumptuous.
You didn't get married or anything like that, did you?
I'm not married.
Okay. You still living in Malibu?
Still live in Malibu. I kicked Pam out of the hot tub, if we do remember.
Who are the neighbors
Pam
now?
is no longer in the hot tub.
Who are the neighbors in Malibu?
Of course, everyone knows my good friend Ryan Braun is a neighbor, one of my ping pongologist guys. So we've had a lot of time to play ping pong this last season. But so Ryan's up here.
Okay, wait. Let me stop there. At what point, you being a sports fan and not afraid to ask a question, do you ask Ryan Braun about what happened with the Brewers?
Of course. We've had a lot of conversations. And I will say this. We are more friends. Like, I'm not going to come on here and say, oh, yeah, he told me everything, because I don't know everything. But I will say this, because I was very critical of the whole situation at first because he is a great young man and he's a fabulous baseball player. But a lot of people, they felt like they may have been duped, and that wasn't the case on my part because we've had conversations. So, yeah, we had to sit down and we talked and we had to come to Jesus speak, and, we're good. I mean, again, it's unfortunate because he made a huge mistake. And do I know what all the particulars and what the huge mistakes are? No, not exactly. He didn't tell me everything, but he was forthright and apologized to me. So I'm going to take him at that. He's still one of my ping pong boys, and we'll go with that.
Who else neighbors that you have there in Malibu?
Who else? Well, like I said, Pam is gone, so that's good.
KG?
Jeremy Piven. He's one of your guests, isn't he? Doesn't Piven come on the show?
No, I have the other entourage guys. Piven might be too big to come on the show.
Really?
You know what? Maybe you have Piven. Yeah, you
that.
have Piven come on when you're on.
Okay.
He strikes me, though.
Magic.
Is he ultra competitive? He strikes me as an ultra competitive guy.
He is. But I think most actors are like that, though, don't you think?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Piven's there. Does Kevin Garnett live by you?
He does, right down the street. A beautiful compound that he has built up. Yes, right down the street.
Now, he's technically not retired, although I've watched them play, and it looks like he's semi-retired.
That is not right. Stop that, Theodore.
He's semi-retired. Oh, come on. You have to give KG a little grief there. Come on.
Well, I will say this.
Yeah.
Look, on paper, when they made the trade, I said they're clearly either the fourth or fifth best team. This is preseason because we assumed Derrick Rose was coming back to be Derrick Rose, and I had the Bulls maybe at 4, and then or 3 or 4, then Indiana and Miami, New York in the mix a little bit. But the way New York and Brooklyn has performed, I mean, are you kidding me? It goes to show you how much chemistry. I don't care how much talent you put on a team. Future Hall of Famer and Paul Pierce, obviously Kevin Garnett. If their chemistry is not there, look how great you and the Danettes work. You bring me back after 2.5, 3 years. Our chemistry is there. We've worked together. If we had never worked together, this may have never been great. But because the chemistry is there, it shows. There's not a lot of chemistry yet for the Brooklyn Nets, but it's coming.
He's Reggie Aloysius Miller back on the show. He's our big announcement joining us, Dan Patrick Show. But I'm also looking at Jason Kidd. You get a veteran team, and I don't care what kind of coach you were on the floor as a point guard. It's completely different when you're an actual coach. Jason doesn't get to dribble the ball or pass the ball, and it seems like he's in over his head.
I wouldn't say he's in over his head, but you got to remember, most great players, and I'll put Jason Kidd in this category because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Most great players see the game differently, and especially as a point guard. So he has seen plays 2 and 3 times before they develop. Now, trying to pick up a clipboard and actually draw plays or schemes to guys like Sean Livingston or Tyshawn Taylor, guys that don't see or play the game at his level, could be a little challenging. I think that was why he somewhat brought in his former coach, Lawrence Frank, who was a head coach, who he had familiarity with, and for whatever reason didn't work out. Now this is all on Jay Kidd now. This is his vision. This is his baby. Billy Kings has given him the keys to the kingdom. So let's see if he's going to sink or swim. Again, we're only a quarter into the season, so we got to give this some time. We really got to give this until the middle of January, February, right around that All-Star break to see where this Nets team is headed.
What do you make of this whole Kobe coming back and what's going to happen with this team? I liken this to they're paying him top dollar to come back to entertain the crowd, but they're not close to being a championship caliber team.
I will say this. I thought it was a very generous contract. They probably overpaid for Kobe. I think it was more services rendered.
Yeah.
But I would never, ever question or challenge Kobe Bryant because of all the guys currently playing in the league, he is probably still one of the hardest workers. And we know how much – will his game be the same? No. Will the Achilles injury affect his play? probably so going forward. But this is a guy that doesn't go out, that doesn't party, that lives in the lab, which his lab is the court, working on his game. There's a lot of guys that take summers off. Kobe has never taken a summer off. He's always worked on his game. So did the Lakers overpay? Yeah. But services rendered? Yes. But this is a guy that has 5 championships and is looking one for the opposite thumb. I'll never question a guy that has 5 championships.
But, Reg, where else was he going? I would have given him 2 years at $24 million, not $24 million each year, because he wants to win a championship. I got to do something with the roster there. I don't know if they're going to trade Pau Gasol. Like, something has to happen unless you're saying to your fan base, we're not winning. We know it. You know it. But come out and see Kobe Bryant in the twilight of his career.
Well, that's number one. But every time we say that about the Lakers, they pull out a Pau Gasol move and bring someone in where they're going to be a championship caliber team. We thought that last year when they brought in Dwight Howard. We penciled them in to the finals versus Miami.
Yep.
For whatever reason, it didn't work. So you can never discount the Lakers because we know that the Buss family is going to pay top dollars to get top talent in there. They don't care about luxury tax because of that Time Warner deal that they signed. They don't care about going over. So they want to put people in the seats. They are the number one top attraction in Los Angeles. So they're going to pay to be excellent, and they're going to surround Kobe, hopefully with talent where he can try and go for that 6th championship.
Who's going to go there, though?
Who wouldn't want to go there?
Well,
I mean, this is a huge free agent class coming up, and I'm not saying Carmelo's coming. I'm not saying LeBron's coming. I'm not saying Dwayne Wade's coming. Bosh, all these up. If they can get one of those guys to go play alongside Kobe, I would tell you what would be great if you could get LeBron James, because what LeBron really wants to do is be a facilitator. To play alongside Kobe, I mean, in the twilight of Kobe's year, I mean, that would be great. Not to say that it would happen, but as a fan stepping back, I think a lot of people would want to see that.
All right,
I'm not saying LeBron would do that,
okay.
But, I mean, it could happen.
All right, real quick. Do you think, because I think LeBron being in Miami is attached to Dwayne Wade's health. Once he sees Wade, deteriorating, I don't know if he's going to want to stay there. It'll be his team, but I agree with you. I think that he'd have no problem playing with a great scorer. Do you think that LeBron ends his career as a Miami Heat?
No, and I'm going to talk as a fan here. I would not be surprised if I saw LeBron James. They all say you're never too old to go home, to go back to Cleveland and make things right. And people say, there's no way he's going to go back and associate himself with Dan Gilbert. Both parties were at fault in that exodus of LeBron. LeBron had a little bit to do with it, as well as Dan Gilbert. I think they can mend fences, and I would not be surprised if LeBron goes back to Cleveland, and for whatever reason, you get Phil Jackson out of Seal Beach or Redondo Beach or wherever he is. He goes to Cleveland because Phil Jackson wants to get back in the game, and he's always surrounded himself with the best players, Michael, Shaq, Kobe, and I could see him aligning himself with LeBron James in Cleveland. Because look, if you go to the East is nowhere near.
Wide
There's
open.
only 2 teams in the East.
Yeah,
it's Indiana and Miami right now. That's it. So why not go to the weaker conference with possibly the best player in LeBron? Now again, that's me talking as a fan. As a fan, people, don't take it literally. I'm talking as a fan.
all right. Well, he's back, and as a fan, great to have you back, Reg.
Holly, Seaton, Fritzy, McLovin, my Danettes, Daniel, Theodore, Jean, Pasquale, Patrick. Big gang is all back together.
Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Oh, this is great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Reg. There you go. I told you guys are going to be surprised.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.